Welcome to the mysterious and creepy story in today's video. I want you to imagine yourself standing in the middle of the vast Australian swamps, where the air is heavy and the only sound is the wind blowing through the rustling eucalypts. It's late at night with no light except for the faint moon. The only light is from the glowing red eyes, not of a human, but of a creature waiting in the darkness. Together we will learn about one of Australia's greatest mysteries, the Bunyip, a legendary monster that can live in swamps, lakes, and even in rivers. It has been described in the folklore of the Australian Aboriginal people, a giant, terrifying creature, and many times no one knows for sure if it exists or not. The story of the Bunyip is always associated with strange events and fear, but is everything we hear just imagination? Or is there really a mysterious creature lurking in those swamps? Join me as we enter the mystical world of the Bunyip and discover the mysteries behind this creature in today's video. For centuries, stories about the Bunyip have been passed down from generation to generation in the Australian Aboriginal community. According to these stories, the Bunyip is not only a monstrous creature, but also a part of the Aboriginal culture and beliefs. It is believed to be a dangerous creature, capable of causing disaster to those who trespass on its territory. Different tribes of Australian Aboriginal people describe the Bunyip in many different forms, but they all have one thing in common. It is a large, fearsome creature, which can have the body of a horse, a crocodile, or even a half-man, half-beast. There is a famous old story about an Aboriginal man named Warren, who lived near a large swamp. One day, as Warren was returning home from a hunt, he heard a strange noise coming from the forest. At first he thought it was just the sound of the wind, but as the noise grew louder, Warren felt that something was wrong. He decided to go deeper into the swamp, but as he approached the shore, a giant shadow rose from the dark water. It was the Bunyip. Warren couldn't believe his eyes. The monster had a massive body, eyes that glowed like fire, and long, crooked fangs. Its huge mouth opened wide as if it wanted to swallow everything. Warren only managed to escape, but his story became a legend among his tribe, and others began to tell similar stories about the Bunyip. However, not everyone could escape as easily as Warren. Rural Australians in the 19th century began reporting strange disappearances around the swamps, with what looked like the footprints of a giant creature appearing on the riverbanks. People began to believe that the Bunyip was not just a myth, but a real thing. They said that every night the monster's screams echoed throughout the wilderness, creating a creepy and terrifying atmosphere. One of the most terrifying cases was that of a 19th century expedition team. This group went into a remote swamp area to find the truth about the Bunyip. During their journey, they heard strange noises, but as they approached the swamp, the expedition team discovered traces that could not be explained. Giant footprints in the mud. These footprints could be so large that an adult could stand in them. However, when they decided to explore further, they did not find any monsters. However, one member of the expedition team, Dr. William Buckley, had a terrifying experience. Dr. Buckley recounted that one dark night, he saw a giant creature emerging from the swamp, with glowing eyes and a large mouth, ready to swallow anyone who came near. In particular, Dr. Buckley described the terrifying feeling when he saw this monster staring at him. However, in the blink of an eye, this creature disappeared into the darkness, leaving Dr. Buckley bewildered and scared. There are more and more stories of strange encounters with the Bunyip, but the scary thing is that no one really knows if this creature exists. Some people believe that the Bunyip is just a wild creature, maybe a giant crocodile or some other animal that they have not yet discovered. However, others believe that it is a mythical creature worshipped by Aboriginal tribes thousands of years ago. In the early 20th century, a group of scientists and explorers organized large searches in the swampy areas of Australia to investigate the Bunyip. However, although they did not find this monster, the reports continued to increase. Researchers began to question whether these people had seen creatures that we cannot understand, or was it just their strange imagination? But the existence of the Bunyip still remains unanswered. Searches continued, but each time they failed. Strange tracks and strange noises continued to appear, a reminder that there was something mysterious, perhaps undiscovered, in these desolate swamps. The Bunyip, the legendary monster of the Australian swamps, remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries. Mysterious tales, strange encounters, and inexplicable tracks have created a legend that lives on in the hearts of Australians. To this day, no one can say for sure whether the Bunyip actually existed, but its story continues to be told from generation to generation. Is the Bunyip an ancient creature left over from a bygone era, or is it simply a product of human imagination? Either way, the story of the Bunyip will remain an integral part of Australia's mysterious myths and legends. And who knows, maybe one day we will discover the truth behind this creature.